He's actually the guy who's curating the show that I'm going to be in with Kyle in San Francisco. And he seems to be a very busy man, but a very generous man, and he's involved in like artist-run spaces, I think, like Carly and I. So the show, he sent the works over on paper, and for us to sort of put up. He actually even did think about maybe just sending the instructions for us to do, which was kind of nice. But anyway, 7 works arrived, and then the instructions to put up this.
So this is the instructions, is it?
So I emailed him last night after I had my party. Yeah.
We're disappointed we weren't invited.
I was just thinking that maybe I should just, like, you know, if you were here, we'd be chatting and, you know, doing the time. And thanks, Tarn. The main thing is to get the ambience of the space. It doesn't really matter what I think about the work. Though if I were to talk about my impressions, they would include the way the work and its germination can move back and forth pretty seamlessly between the digital and the analogue. The term currently used is post-internet art. But what it is, who really knows? Working with the ether. Question mark. More interesting, I guess, is how you or whoever created the works in situ felt when the space and mood came together. I'm guessing uncomfortable at first, knowing that you are dealing with someone else's things, but at the same time there are necessarily other things that have to be done outside the basic instructions, question mark. And likely after a while a sense of authority gets earned by the doer on the other end, who was me, as decisions get made, as they engage in the sensual experience of seeing and making. The so-called authentic experience. I got together a small parcel of bits and sent it airmail and shot off a couple of emails and links. Someone picked up the box on the other end, and within the email there was an exchange. So what you did was pretty much as I did, the experience of going through developing the idea into a physical show. In fact, I could have even sent less information. The paperworks could have been sent through as simple instructions, paperless and made up at the other end. I guess you could argue that the experience is not a creative experience, but I mean, I've made them before and I'll make them again. And I certainly don't find the experience robotic, as there are so many variables and loose ends. In the end, thanks to you, there is something real. Built into that experience is something, hopefully, teeter-tottering the real as well.
Did he specify the distance between?
So those instructions were, he would like some space between them. He doesn't want them bunched up on top of each other. Those were my instructions. So I opened up 7 and thought, oh dear, I don't know what to do. There was a green, an electric green, another blue as well. So I had kind of all these colours, and I was thinking about the space, and then I realised that really only 3 on one wall was going to work if I could think about them having a nice breathing space in between them. So I chose the 3 and I chose the colours just because that was probably about me.
And did you tell him why you'd chosen those particular colours?
No, I didn't, because I kind of, it's been interesting having dialogue with him, not only about this show but also about my work for San Francisco. And I'm kind of getting to know how he's starting to think, and he also owns an artist-run space. So I think that there is kind of like a space that exists between us that we have an understanding about how things should be in a space. So it was also my idea to hang the blue. This, in the States, they have black masking tape, and we don't have it here. So I had to paint this masking tape. But he didn't want black, he wanted kind of like a Payne's grey, so I created a Payne's grey and he helped me work through that. And then I was thinking about the Payne's grey colour and thinking about the blue, and I thought,
best colour in the world.
Yeah, isn't it? Just delicious. And so I thought, oh, there's a blue. Wouldn't it be nice if they both had a conversation together? So I took the liberty of putting the blue on the floor there, putting the red, the orange and the green and the pink there, And then I took a photo and sent it to him, and then I took a photo and sent it to him, and then I took a photo and said, that's it. And then I told him my idea about having the blue next to the Payne's Grey, and he just said yes. So.
And if he had said that you could have done the pages yourself, therefore his random strokes, which are lovely and gestural, chunk, 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 that isn't that important to him because anybody could have made those gestures.
Yeah. So it was interesting then when I read this morning that he was talking about, you know, post-digital. And I thought it was really beautiful. And the other works that are in, that I didn't put up, the paint has a different consistency. I can sort of see a lot more water in the works, in the other works, whereas these seem to be quite opaque and thick, and I like the way that they were together. So I just think they're really sensual. And it was interesting too how he kind of mentioned that whole process of working with somebody else's work was like a sensual thing. And I think it's interesting that, I mean, it's just my opinion, that we're back to basics. Even that they're folded and they kind of come out from the wall, and it was actually kind of a little bit challenging, and I really didn't want to ask him too many questions, but I noticed that there could be a difficulty in the distance of them coming out from the wall because I wanted the folds to happen. And so I thought, well, I wonder how many layers of foam core he put behind the works. So I emailed him yesterday and said, can you send me a photo of what they look like behind? And he had 2 layers of foam core back over in the States, so I did put 2 layers of foam core because I wanted to come out.
And what about where you've bent the corners? How could you have made that more severe if you'd wanted to?
Well, that would mean then that he didn't really want them sort of like folding in on themselves.
Okay.
So he has scored them. So they're all scored, they were already scored. So I kind of just, Ali and I hung the 3 this morning, or before this morning, and then we just kind of folded them and then put them up again. So that's just how they were.
As a dyslexic person, you shoot it the right way around and not the other way around.
No, that's it.
That's it.
Yeah.
You gave the instructions to the right. You know.
That was the way, that is the way the images that he sent.
So